the FPV. We're gonna start chatting about that here. Bill the Drone Reviewer here. If you like the content of this video or anything on my channel, make sure you hit the subscribe button and ring the notification bell so you don't miss any future content. With that, let's begin. The other night I was joined by very special guest Johnnie Alfonso, otherwise known as Johnnie Drone Flyer, and very special co-host Ron Brun. We spent a majority of the evening discussing the DJI FPV drone regarding pricing, releasing, and who this drone is right for. So without any further ado, let's roll that clip in its entirety. The FPV. We're gonna start chatting about that here, and I want to find. I have something on the screen here. Hang on a second. All right. You know, let's go ahead and share again. You know, we did get some more. We got some interesting pictures from Ositalev here. Okay, now he sent us this picture that it looks like that you can put different color schemes.
Color, yeah. Look, it has covers. It said somewhere that I read. Yeah,
cover, yeah, which is real interesting, right there. Then with some other ones, he's in stock. Okay, and what's real interesting here is this has to be an English store because I'm pretty sure you don't see any Chinese lettering on these items. Okay, because in the very least there would be corresponding, even though it's in English, there would be Chinese lettering on a Chinese box here. Okay, so this store isn't over in China, which I thought was very interesting. And then he also put out this video here, which was real. I'm gonna put the sound on it.
Yeah, there's also was a 3-minute long video I watched. It was really cool.
Very different kind of startup sound that they had on this. Yeah, and I saw that 3-minute video too as well. Here's
the man with the race car, and then the gazelle. I think we're running. Man, it looked awesome.
I did see that, and then DJI is good. Here's some. These are probably promo shots. What this is, I have no idea. Handheld controller, a single one. I redefine flying. Now this is real interesting here, okay? Because I know I saw DeMarco more, and I don't know if DeMarco's in the chat or not. Lauren is right. Lauren goes, leaks are free advertising. Yeah, they are free advertising for DJI, and they're the master at it, at leaking these things out. I saw DeMarco, our buddy. There was a comment he had seen something, and I don't know if it was Hey Kestelu or not, said that this was going to be around $2,000, and I'm like, whoa, 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 whoa. Okay, you're not going to get a lot of people to buy it at $2,000, guys. That's just not going to happen. All right. I don't care. I don't care how deep your pockets are. Okay. You pockets that deep to get a drone for $2,000 like that. Okay. That thing better make me breakfast and bring me coffee in bed. Okay.
Yeah. And Lauren even thinks, I think Lauren, by just talking to Lauren, Lauren in the chat last night, I think he's had it at $11.99, and he's thinking that, but what was funny, the Spectrum, now we see $12.99. We heard $2,000, but even at $2,000, some people were acting like you're getting a lot for $2,000. So it's kind of interesting, the price swing.
Yeah, I mean it really is. Well, Lauren put in there, use it like a joystick instead of using a normal controller. That other one that we just yeah,
it's like a game controller.
Yeah, like a game controller, which is real interesting. And one of my questions has been, and I saw a lot of people ask me this question, and I can't answer it. And I don't know if you guys talked about it the other night or not. Will something like this work without the goggles? Will it work with an app on a phone, which I think, I'm curious for something like that because, that may help break some other people into getting something like this, because for me, okay, spatially for me, I'm just like, I gotta see things. Okay. I'm one of those kind of persons. I would get dizzy, probably nauseated, wearing goggles. Okay. That kind of stuff not going to work for me. And I know, and the other thing too, is I was talking about this with my wife, is this isn't the kind of drone that you're going to go out by yourself to fly. Okay.
Right.
Because you're going to need somebody there with you, Johnny. It's like, well, she brought up the point, and it's a real good point. Somebody can come whack you over the head. You wouldn't even know they were there. I mean,
yeah, and I mean it's something. I guess it's something to think about. Even when you're flying a camera bird, camera drone, you're not really looking behind you a whole lot, but you can turn around, and but it's going to be very interesting. But yeah, because even in the advertisement, I know you saw they had a girl in the like a visual observer, so it was kind of interesting, that ad.
Yeah, and that's what I'm thinking with something like this is you got to have one there. I mean, that's just not going to pan out that you would be able to do this on your own. They have done, and one of the things, and I was doing more thinking about, Michael Wright, I believe, yes, especially with the joystick controller, sort of like the Skydio beacon. Michael, that's a great point. Thank you for raising that. That's a very good point because, other people like me who wouldn't even begin to think about something like this because of having to wear the goggles, hey, I might entertain this thought, of being able to see something like this, and being able to use something like this, whereas normally I wouldn't consider it simply because of the goggles.
Yeah, I've never put on a pair of goggles, so I wouldn't know. But I mean, with the glasses and having to see, I don't know how that would work out.
Yeah, I'm the same way, because of my glasses and just because people had always asked me when DJI came out with the original goggles, have you tried them? And I said no, and they said why? And I said because my spatial awareness. I said I would probably get dizzy and I might get nauseated from it, and that's just not something I'm ever going to entertain. I mean, I just can't do that.
And I'm sure we'll have a couple at the Sebastian meetup. I'm sure that.
Oh yeah, there'll be some, and this is interesting because, one of the things that, and here's Ron. Ron's here. Ron, welcome.
Hello, gentlemen. How are you tonight?
Hey,
Good
Ron.
to see you.
Good. I just got back from Best Buy. I was hanging out in the drone aisle in case one of those FPV drones got put out by mistake.
No such luck, right?
No. I all I could get was a Mavic Air 1. Yeah, and then I had to stop at the bank too because I applied for to get a mortgage for the FPV drone. I was trying to get a fixed interest rate on it.
Well, we just went. We just saw. And I'll share it again. Here is DJI in this little teaser had it for $12.99. So that is a much more reasonable price than what I'd seen originally. DeMarco had posted like around 2,000, and I'm like,
we were fearing $2,000 yesterday, yeah, because the Amazon store in the Netherlands, if you converted their price over, it would have been $2,000 US.
Wow.
That was for the flyboard kit.
Yeah,
you got everything. If you only wanted the drone and the controller, it was much less.
Wow. Well, one of the other things that I wanted to talk about with both of you here, and I'm glad you're here, Ron. And and I'll go back. Let me bring this back up again with the Cedolev, which I thought was real interesting.
Oh, yeah, he put that tweet out in the last 24 hours.
Yeah, there've been a lot out in the last 10 or 12 hours. Been a lot of videos out.
Well, when a Cedolev puts the tweet out, it's close.
Yeah, it's common. It's coming. Well, the one that he did, and I'm trying to find out that one right here.
The one I sent you today in Messenger.
Yes.
Yeah.
You want me to see if you keep looking. I'll see if I can find it in Messenger.
Okay, well, here's one thing that I wanted to talk about right here is these. I thought I was sharing. Dang it. Okay, let me get. Yeah, this is what. This is really. Yeah, I got it
Okay.
here. All right. One thing that it just I can't. It boggles my mind is look at the size of the battery here compared
Did
to.
you see the picture when they're putting it in the drone? And I mean, it looks bigger than the drone when they're sticking it in.
Yeah.
It's just guys. This just it's like I'm kind of speechless on this. I really am.
Well, I mean, let me ask you, Bill. I mean, I know none of us here are FPV experts, but in a normal FPV drone, is the battery the same proportionally bigger than the rest of the drone as it is with the? I'll just start saying the flash now because it's easier to say.
Yeah, that is a great question, Ron. I don't know because I mean, from what I've seen, no, they're proportion. They're kind of like in size proportion to the drone itself.
Yeah, that's as big as the drone itself, at least the body of it.
And I'm no expert in this stuff either, but is that like a 6-cell battery? Which I think the 6 cells are the biggest, most powerful ones that they use.
It could be. It really could be. I mean, the thing is just. I mean, when I saw him putting it in, I was like, I had to do a double take, and then I ran that video again to look at it, and I'm like, holy cow! I mean, that's like a quarter or 3/4 or at least half the drone right there.
So is that joystick controller included in that kit, the fly more type, or is that an extra?
Yeah, that'll get you like everything you see at the table. Well, you can't see the goggles too well, but I think the rumors. This is all rumors now. The rumor of the Firmware kit would be the drone controller, goggles, 3 batteries, and looks like extra propellers, charger. Right.
But Ron, they show Bill, put that picture back up to that little joystick. Where does that come into play? Or
I know what you're talking about. You think DeMarco was posted today?
No.
Okay. Joystick. You mean beyond the controller? There it is. Oh yeah.
Yeah. So is that?
I just saw that picture today. I've never seen that picture before, and I don't think that's included with the package as it is now. But again, I'm giving you rumor on top of rumor here.
So that'll be an ad. I mean, you'll have to buy that separate.
And that's what it's looking like now.
Yeah,
nobody's made mention of it as being
Lauren
any
is
part
saying
of
in the chat. Yeah, Lauren said in the chat it's an extra.
Okay, that's kind of what I thought. I mean, because I didn't see it in the. Let me go ahead and.
Now I would call that a wand. Haven't we seen toy drones before that you could fly with a wand type device like that?
Mm-hmm. I haven't.
But again, I know nothing about FPV. But if you're flying along at 70 miles per hour, Bill, would you want to be controlling that with a wand?
No, because I can tell you, I had.
No, you've experienced it. What's that stick that you got from the astronaut? It was kind of like a wand in a way. What am I trying to say, Bill? The astronaut made that controller.
About because I had a like $39 E-Sheen drone that used a wand like that.
Yeah, but that E-Sheen drone probably it flew along at like top speed of 5-10 miles per hour. So
yeah,
it wasn't that big of a deal.
But it was still even getting used to the cadence of moving forward, moving backward, side, moving to the side, going this way, going that way, that direction. Trying to let up on the throttle, those kind of things. It was so different than a normal joystick. It really just, it really wasn't. There was no comfort level there.
But let me just say it outright. Us old guys like our sticks.
Yeah. Yes. I want to have.
I'll put it plain English, right? We want to stick it. Sorry, that didn't sound right. We want our sticks.
But this is a good thing. Seeing it at $1,200, okay? Because
that's a relief.
That's a really good thing. And Lauren says, DJI does some of their best marketing with these leaks. Okay, when they push these leaks out to us ahead of time. From what I saw on both Drone DJ and on Drone XL, March 2nd is a hotly rumored date that is going to be released. As far as coming out. So
and Lauren was speculating $12.99 price, but I think he's also speculating like a little bit higher price for a Firmware kit. That this $12.99 will be more of a base kit.
Right.
Yeah.
Maybe you know, drone, controller, goggles, and maybe one battery.
And John Coopy, you know, a long time ago, of course, everybody, you know, John said about $500 a piece for everything. So he hit it. I mean, it's pretty close.
Yeah, even when it was up around 2,000, John said for everything you were getting, if you spec'd it out, that still would be a, you know.
Well, that's what I told Bill earlier, Ron. It was kind of interesting because if you think it's something going to be $12.99 and you think it's okay, and then it goes to 2,000, and you still think it's okay, so it must be okay.
It just goes to show that if you want to get into FPV big time, you better have some pretty deep pockets.
Yeah, this is going to take some deep pockets. I mean, you know, even, you know, coming up with $1,200, you know, for those of us who are not, you know, FPV drone flyers, you know, who have flown camera drones, all right, you know, and I'll say the three of us here, you know, $1,200, I can get a Zoom for that, okay? And if I spend a couple hundred more, I can get a Mavic 2 Pro for that, all right? And, you know, is this something that's going to pull me in? Is this something I'm going to be interested in? Is goggles something I'm interested in?
Well, you know, I think it depends on the type of flying. You know, I think we're more like photography type. You know, and of course, Ron's a base photographer, so he definitely, you know, loves the camera bird. You know, I think it wouldn't suit him, and it probably wouldn't suit me either. But you know, I think if you do that, you know, because you know it's going to be fun to fly. It's going to go 80 miles an hour, 80 something, you know.
Yeah, it's going to be fast.
It's going to fly much faster than our Mavics that we've been used to flying.
And it's going to be interesting to see the footage from it. I mean,
sure.
You know, granted, you know, it has some neat features, you know, but for us, you know, we like Ron's, as I've always said, Johnny, I call him the Jedi Master of Sunsets.
Sunset, yeah.
He is, okay. You know, he's too modest about that, but we all do know that, okay. So on one of these days, we're gonna buy an official crown for him with that title.
Well, he could do like quick sunsets with that, you know, FPV. Like
I was gonna say, Bill, to Bill's point, you know, that thing going 70 miles per hour, how's that going to make my sunset videos look any better than going at 40 miles per hour on the Mavic 2 Pro? Is that really going to make them more look better? Or I don't know how that's going to help me. I mean, I understand if I want to fly between some trees and, you know, some real, you know, narrow gaps or whatever, but I don't do that stuff. You know, I mean, that's not the type of stuff I do.
I would think you'd have to have the right place to fly that, you know, like a lot of space or either, you know, I mean.
Well, I guess some of the, you know, the guys is what makes it look good is I guess when you fly through things or whatever,
right,
really fast. And of course, our big birds, not that they can't do it, they don't have enough space, but we couldn't fly that precise with our big birds because we don't have the goggles. So we're not in the cockpit. We don't know how many inches we have till when we hit that tree or that pole or whatever. But when you have the goggles on, you'll know precisely how you need to adjust to get through whatever gap it is you're getting through. But that goes back to the whole conversation. Bill and I touched on this a little bit last week. I know Bill and I are both, the goggles may be our biggest barrier to entry in this whole thing. Do I think I could actually fly the thing? I think I could. You know, I'm maybe not in acro, but I could probably fly it in stabilized mode or something like that. You know, okay, but I just don't know that I'm, you know, how I'm going to do with the goggles. Number one, number two, the whole visual observer thing. You know, I'm always going to need somebody observing when I go out to be legal. And somebody made a point in the chat, I think last week on the show, and also, if I would violate not having a visual observer, what if I'm in a public park and somebody comes up, bops me on the back of the head and steals $12.99 worth of equipment from me?
Plus your iPhone.
Right. Well, I can leave that in the car because you won't need to fly this drone, Johnny.
Yeah.
But Bill, are they valid points? You know.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. You know, and one of the other things that I was thinking about with this, you know, and DeMarco just put up, you know, when you buy the whole enchilada, including refresh and everything, seems like comes close to $2,500. You know,
see, Lauren is saying it's not going to be that expensive, so I would.
I'm kind of leaning toward what's Lauren's saying, but you know, poor DeMarco, if he spent $2,500, I don't think he.
Oh boy, don't tell his wife.
His permanent place would be DeMarco. Your permanent place would be the couch.
Don't tell Mrs. Moore. Well, look, let's break this down. Okay, Bill, what is I mean, I know us three probably may not get it AP, but what is what price point would actually make you even consider getting it? What is the most you would even consider paying for this drone? Both of you.
To me, it has to be under $1,000, Ron. That's just
for any consideration, right?
For any consideration, because look at the Mavic Air 2. Look at the interest it generated. Look at the number of people that have bought that and enjoy it. You just buy just one battery, just get one battery, just don't go on all hog. It's $799. That is a steal for getting that kind of a camera drone. Okay. For me, and I understand what DJI is trying to do. I understand they're trying to get people interested in FPV. I understand that this is an untapped market for them, and I think it's a good thing for them to do this. However, I think if they really wanted to get more people in, okay, they got to have brought that ceiling under $1,000. I mean, that $1,000 barrier, and Marcus talks about it a lot as well too. That's a pretty tough pill to swallow. Okay, going over $1,000.
Well, if you bought it, and I'm not saying of course you could sell it, but you know how that is on a secondary market. You're gonna pay $1,200-1,500, and you're gonna get $700-800 for it, maybe. I don't know. I'm like you, Bill. I would have thought if they would have come into the market with something, a starter type kit, I don't know, maybe, and I don't know that much about it, but maybe $500 to $800, but maybe they can't do it, and it wouldn't be a good experience. It's kind of like buying a cheap camera bird. Everybody wants a cheap one, but they don't fly good, and then you get disgusted. So you better off just buying something good.
Now, Bill, do you think down the road that this first one, maybe when they release the first Mavic Pro, they release their best first, and maybe a year down the road they'll come out with a Flash Air or a Flash Mini, and it'll be half the price. Now, it may not have all the features this one has, but it may be more affordable for somebody that just wants to get in the hobby. Like did I see some specs today, Bill, where they think this will have 4K 60 frames per second at 120 bit rate, and I think they think it'll have like 1080p at 120 frames per second at some good bit rate. So it's going to have some really eye-popping specs, but that may give them the opportunity, if it does well, to release again like a Flash Air, a Flash Mini at the price point you guys are talking about. Less features, but maybe still enough features for a beginner to be interested in.
Well, I'm going to go ahead and share. You brought up those stats. I want to get them up on the screen here. But one of the things that I wanted to say about this is, okay, the typical times that I've seen, footage that I would actually like to watch, it's usually going through abandoned buildings. Okay, and it's also the other ones that I like to watch are trains. Okay, somebody's flying with a train that's going down the tracks. And there was this one guy who had a micro one, and he was flying it under the train and over that and all that stuff. That was just crazy. But those are the kind of ones that I actually will enjoy and will watch. And you got to be a real expert to do stuff like that, and flying through buildings and stuff. I mean, that takes a lot of skill. That takes a lot of practice. That takes a lot of nerve to be able to do that. Okay. I'm not sure for me, let's say, I would do some for $1,200. I'm not going to be flying this through abandoned buildings. I'm not going to be flying this close to trees.
Or into an abandoned building, more like
into an abandoned building and out and stuff. I mean, I'm not going to do that kind of stuff. I'm not going to take that chance because, if I drop $1,200, it ain't chump change. I want to make sure that I'm getting my money's worth out of it. Number one, and number two, that I'm not a high risk person. Okay. I don't do high risk type of ventures. Okay. So it's the same thing here. I wouldn't do a high risk venture like getting this and actually going out. Oh, there's an abandoned building there. Let's go fly around that. Or, oh, look at this old orange grove. Let's go down through the trees and fly through it. No, I'm not going to be doing stuff like that.
I definitely see your point.
Yeah, and I mean, and if you do buy it and then fly it like a camera drone, then you just better off flying your camera drone.
Yeah. And manual mode disables most flight assists and hands direct control of the operator, just like a freestyle drone would. This enables amazing maneuverability, but also carries considerable risk. So much so the manual mode is disabled by default. It must be enabled through the goggle menu. In addition, manual mode will still limit the maximum attitude of the craft and prevent inverted maneuvers like flips and rolls. A separate goggle menu setting can remove the second attitude limiter and unlock the craft's full potential. DJI has provided a method to disable the automatic recentering on the radio controller by adjusting a screw at the back. So you can have the option to do crazy things with this. I mean, it's just, the sky's, it's wide open with this. But they put in a lot of safety features, and I think a lot of FPV beginner features to get people in, to draw them in. But again, I'll go back to what I said, and I think Johnny and Ron kind of echoed it as well. You do get, for the price point, you are getting a lot of bang for the buck, and I understand that, and understand what Koopy had to say, and he makes perfect sense with what he had to say. They need, and I think maybe in a second iteration of this, and Ron brought up a good point, in a second iteration of this, they may have a light version of this, or a 2 version of this, or an air version of this, where it's under $1,000, has some similar features, maybe not as good a camera and stuff, but it gets people's tongues wet and it gets their appetites wet, and they'll go ahead and they'll take a serious crack at it because it's under $1,000. An item of note: DJI sent out an email on February 24th with an announcement that there will be an announcement on March the 2nd at 9 a.m. and it's called Redefine Flying, and there's the graphic for you. Question of the day: is the DJI FPV drone something you would consider buying? Let me know in the comments section below. Thanks so much for watching, and remember, it's a great day to fly.